Alright, so today is day 79. I did one more lead code. So we're currently actually at 57 out of 150. But yeah, we cover quite a lot of topics. Let's go ahead and redo the one I did today. This one, the thing is, like, I already did the word search too, so this one was actually quite easier, right? Because in this one we are given a word and we have to find a word. In this case, we're given cat, so in order to find it, it's just to perform DFS and backtracking. So we have to check if this character it's in the word and if it's not out of bounds. And if this is the case, we then move. So we have to increase the iteration by 1. If this iteration equal to the length of word, then it is gonna mean that we arrive to the word, so we can return true. If that's not the case, we can check. We have to explore all the neighbors. If there is in one neighbor which is true, I mean the function has to return true. Otherwise, if there is not at least one, we're gonna return false. What else? And yeah, and we're gonna explore each cell. So we can go ahead and do it quickly. So first, if not word, like if they give us like an empty board, we can return directly false because we're not gonna find anything there. Then we're gonna do like some sort of iteration. First, I need the rows and the columns. So this is gonna be length board and length board 0. And now for rows in range M, and for columns in range N, we're gonna perform DFS. The DFS, we're gonna have a value, has to be true. If the value is true, then we're gonna return true. The thing is, like, if the value is not true, we don't want to end up there, but rather at the end of all the loop. So I want something like return false. So if I finish like all cells and I didn't find a return true, then I'm gonna return false. Otherwise, I'm gonna check if DFS at that specific cell, which is gonna be R and C, at iteration at the beginning, because this is called at the beginning of each iteration, so it's going to be 0. So if this is the case, if it's true D, then we're going to return true. Alright, now we have to do the DFS. So def DFS RCI, and the first stopping condition is if the length, like if we arrive to the last word, so it's going to say essentially that I is equal to length of word. If this is the case, we arrive, we return true. If this is not the case, what do we need to do? This is not the case, we need to check if it's a valid, we check two things, if it's a valid cell, because at each DFS iteration, we're gonna take one of the neighbors, and it could be that it's outside of bounds, and we have to check if the character we're exploring is it's part of the word, because if it's not part of the word, then we can skip it, like this case. So if we have an A, the word does not begin with an A directly, right? Because we're going to check at iteration 0, the word is going to be A, this is not A, so we can return false directly, and we can skip. So I'm going to say if it's out of bounds. So if it's out of bounds, it's going to mean that, for example, the rows is less than 0, but greater than the max, which is the length of M. So I'm gonna say if M, because we're using, I'm gonna say if R is less than 0, or R is greater or equal than M, or now for C is less than 0, or C is greater or equal to N, and or what I said, if the character is not this is different than the one in the word, we can say directly that this is not the path. So I'm gonna say board RC is different than word I, right? And if this is not the case, we're gonna return false, right? And okay, now that we do this, we know that we can proceed. I mean, it's a valid character. So we have to mark it as visited. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna create a temporal because we have to undo it. I'm gonna say board R, board C, and then we mark board R board C as a hashtag, as visited. Yeah, because if this is gonna be, if this is a hashtag, then it's gonna return false. This is good. Yeah, it takes this already into account. Okay, as long as the searching space does not include a hashtag, it's okay. Okay, now we actually do the finding process, which we're gonna perform DFS over the neighbor. So we already said that this is a nice character to include. Now we have to search in the neighbors. So first we gotta move like up, left, down, right. Then I'm gonna do it now, but first I want to like set up all the logic. Then we need to update again the board. So it's gonna be board R C equal temp. Okay, now for this logic, how do we do it? We have to do DFS of moving, if we have the rows, if we increase the rows, we're moving down. So I'm gonna say rows plus 1, comma, columns, comma, I plus 1, because we accept the character, so we're moving one more. And or, because in the end we gotta return found. So it's gonna be this, or DFS R minus 1 if we move up, comma, C, comma, I plus 1, or DFS R, comma, C plus 1, comma, I plus 1, or DFS R, comma, C minus 1, comma, I plus 1. I think that's it. Okay, let's run it. Okay, good. So that was it for today. Quite easy.